Hello and welcome. You're watching My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. Bangalore won the toss and decided to bat first. Everybody else seemed to be getting stuck except Chris Morris, who launched an attack in the last over, at the end of which Mohammad Shami came unstuck. 24 runs off that last over, taking Bangalore to what looks like respectability. 171 for 6 at the end of 20 overs. It was not looking that good at the end of the 19th, but Chris Morris showing that he can do with bat what he does with ball. Yeah, we told you, did we say he was a My 11 Circle trump card? We did tell you. If you still didn't pick him, then, well, you're just another person who is discounting my wisdom on account of my beauty. But I just want to say about my wisdom and about my foresight, and I want Mr. Harsha Bhogle and Mr. Pommie Mbangwa to bear witness to this fact that I win the My 11 Circle badge of honor for my prediction of 173. No. Yes, Mr. Bhogle. Yes. There is a jibe. I feel there's a jibe.
To which people will go just to win a small little thing in Cricbuzz. You must have sent some matchup about AB versus leg spin into some RCB camp and prevented them from sending AB out so that you win this contest.
Sir, if Bangalore, or any team for that matter, was changing plans based on my text messages, then
somebody's text message
to reassess their life.
Listen, somebody's text message, because Chris Morris has just saved them from a lot of, well, I won't go so far as embarrassment, but a lot of
criticism.
Puzzle looks. Fair puzzle looks.
No, he hasn't.
They probably got.
No, he hasn't.
It's a good score now.
He hasn't saved them. He has not saved them.
Just a little bit. It was looking much worse before the 20th over. It was looking much.
It does not matter how it looks. It does not. How it looks is not going to change that they've gone and done the wrong thing.
True.
It's not going to change that.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't matter what team you're playing in. It really does not matter. Number one, let me come at it from a. Let's imagine we're at the Chinnaswamy. They would have been lynched.
Before you go, let me just one more thing. This is Pommie's reaction to AB coming at 6. Go.
Yeah, so let's imagine we're at the Chinnaswamy. They wouldn't have let it happen. The game would have stopped in the 12th over. They'd have said, "What are you doing?" They would know. Explain to us.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody. Where is everybody? No ways. Look, whether they're leg spinners and there are 10 of them in your opposition, let him come in, get his first bowler if he's getting a first bowler, as happened in a game before, and then he walks off, then go with your other plan. Yeah. He must bat, and he must bat many balls. He must walk in after Virat all the time. All the time. I can't for the life of me understand that.
Is Mr. Bhogle, you're on the same floor. I'm sure you can hear him through the walls.
Yes.
Could you just go and just calm him down, or maybe just tie him to the chair like something? Because I feel he's going to explode. He's going to go through the ceiling.
I'll tell you two things about that from Pommie. One is Pommie looked like he was in a rap video and the lines were just flowing, man. The lines were just flowing.
Freestyle.
But more important, Gaurav, between Pommie and me, we've just figured out how to finish AB de Villiers' international career. Every match, just pick 4 leg spinners in your team and AB will never play a game ever in his life again. So I'm just hoping it wasn't the matchups, but some other reason that was behind AB coming in at 6. Because otherwise, I'm Murugan Ashwin or I'm Ravi Bishnoi. For the rest of my life, I'm telling my relatives at every Diwali and every family function, you know what? We were the reason AB didn't come out to bat. Can you imagine an under 19 spinner and Murugan Ashwin who plays a little good bowlers, nothing against them, but they are going into every Pongal and every what is the Punjabi festival? Oh, Rajasthani festival. Saying, "Hamari wajah se nahi khela."
Did you just
every team has a strategy that works some days and doesn't others?
One sec. Did you just stumble on finding a festival in India? Shake a tree and 5 fall out. The great Harsha Bhogle festival, because we just don't have enough in India, It's just
I said Pongal. I was searching for a Pakka Rajasthani festival. That's all.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the fact is that it was celebration time for Punjab bowlers because lesser balls to bowl at ABD. Not taking anything away from young Shivang Dubey or young Washington Sundar, but this is legend. This is genius. This is legend. This is Mr. 360. And you just preserve him in cotton wool in the dugout. He's not going to score any runs from there, I'll tell you that. Glenn Maxwell, 4 for 28. Mohammad Shami, well, is looking much worse because his last over, Chris Morris took him for 24. Anmol Preet Singh, 2 overs for 20. Arshdeep Singh, Ravi Bishnoi, 3 for 29. Morgan Ashwin picked up those 2 wickets, was tight. And Chris Jordan bowled his 3 for 20. Pommie, I mean, Punjab's going to go back from this bowling performance. Leave aside that last over, right? We'll show you some. They were 83. They were 83 for 2 at the halfway mark when Harsha and me were doing the Cricbuzz Combox. There was a slow period because they kept losing wickets, and then of course this acceleration in the end. But this is what it's looking like, and looking much better because of what has happened effectively in the last couple of overs.
Yeah, it's been their problem. It's been their problem for a long time. Sometimes because they go to the wrong bowler, sometimes because they use the wrong options as they go along, and then they don't have an option at the back end. Sometimes because of selection, as we spoke about before. But the last 4 overs have not gone well for them generally.
Only 15 and 20th. I think they got like 19 and 24 out of that. You take those away, then you've actually got very slow death overs. Besides that.
Yeah, I hear you, but in the end, you have to look at that period of the game for the Kings 11 Punjab. And as you go through the tournament, you keep looking at the same period in the game for them. And for me, it's because of a lack of consistency in terms of who does that job. You've got to be consistent with who your guys are who should do that job. I feel for Mohammad Shami because normally he's pretty good and he'll get things right. He'll get those Yorkers right. He didn't get them right today. And I suppose as you look at things with how they stand or how they stood at the time, one side kind of needed it more because of their errors in terms of what they had done by not sending the right guy into bat. Not to say he'd have got a whole lot of runs. As I said, he could have got a first bowler. But, Morris bails them out. They're not sure how to bowl at Morris. He's kind of new in the tournament, and they got it wrong. Yeah, and he played. Sometimes guys can play well, too. And he played well.
Any other, Harsha, we usually speak about Virat Kohli doing what he does really best, which is he'll get those 40, 50 runs at perhaps just a little over run a ball, maybe 110, 115, and then he accelerates. And that didn't happen today. So they're also reeling from that blow.
We'll look back at this and say Shami conceded all those runs in the last over. The previous over, Shami had actually got both AB and Virat out, and it was a fantastic over. That lovely slow bouncer that foxed someone like Virat, who played how many balls at that point? He's played 39 balls. He's set, right, and he's foxed him with that slow bouncer. So he actually did very well. I think Kings will go back and say, 171. We would have liked it to be 150 or liked it to be 120. But still, 171 against that lineup is not a bad score. It's a score that you can defend, but it's not a match-winning score. But Virat, 48 of 39, I think he was setting himself up for a finish that didn't come.
You have to, if you're in the Punjab dugout, you have to be looking at Chris Gayle and just unleashing that monster. You got to tell him that, listen, don't worry, we can get this done. But if you can give us in your first game of the season, you've been sitting on the bench, you haven't got a chance yet, and he does this well. Whenever he gets off, he hits the ground running, Pommie, and that's what they need from him today, because if he can give you a quick 30-40, you're cruising after. You got enough batsmen to just cruise on that Sharjah highway, right, and get to 171.
And hey, this is a guy who, yes, is the hill is behind him and it's on the other side. It's the slope downwards because of age, and such is life. Time waits and stops for no man, right? But he always has been a man for a big occasion. Now, if there's anything you can do to say, what are the conditions for Chris Gayle that would work best? It's a ground where look, we don't want you to run much. We're going to have everyone in the circle. And the circle we're talking about is the ground, the whole ground, because if you just chip it, it's going to go onto the road. This is set nicely for him. And if he can just get going, good luck. I'm looking forward to watching him. I am. I hope he does well.
My prediction is he gets one run of 6 balls. One run of 6 balls and then he launches.
We must talk about matchups.
Yes.
Matchups. I mean, I'll tell you what, honestly, I'm not making fun of matchups. Most times matchups are very illuminating. But I think the contest is going to be Washington Sundar with that new ball, pinging it into Chris Gale's pads and seeing that contest. If Gale can get away a couple of big shots early against Washington Sundar, if he wants to, in recent times, he tends to wait 10 or 15 balls. But if he can win that contest early on, then he's set up kicks. Then he's set up.
The thing is, there is Washington Sundar. What's clever about him is the way he mixes up his line and length. It's not prodigious turner of the ball. He mixes up his line and length. He's got a high release. It's very deceptive, his bowling, but deceptive to the point where Chris Gale looks at it and goes, wait, man, this kid's bowling me juicy lollipops, right? He can get deceived, but he's not. Pommie, he's not bowling. He's not bowling juicy lollipops.
No, it's not. However, you still, if you're Chris Gale, must make the play. He's not looking to bat. Yes, he'll bat as long as he can, but he must cash in on the power play.
Okay,
it's necessary.
I got news for you guys. Just we have to wipe this entire conversation because Gale's not coming out to open.
No, come on.
We're gonna make Pommie is going to self-combust twice in a 10-minute show. This is a land speed record.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, believe it.
Yeah.
So I reckon that's because they're saying, Sundar, pitches have slowed down. It'll turn away from him. I don't know you want to do that. I say challenge Sundar. Say, here's the universe, boss. Can you still get it there and turn it past his bat? If you miss your length, you're disappearing for 6. Whether it's back over your head or it's off half a bat and it's going over cover for 6, it's still going for 6. Challenge the guy. Come on. This is reinventing the wheel, I think. Even if they win. Both sides, they're doing the reinventing the wheel stuff.
Yeah, and the wheel's great. The wheel's moving just fine. Why do this? But, well, that's what it is. Let's have a look at the Punjab batting attack real quick. You obviously have Rahul and the captain and Mayank Agarwal. Then you have Chris Gale, Nicholas Pooran, Maxwell, Hooda, Jordan. Well, you got enough hitting power. I just don't understand why they would not unleash Gale at the top. I don't get it.
One reason could be they'll say, what is the one thing that is working for Kings at this stage of the tournament? What is the one thing? They're right at the bottom of the table. What is the one thing that's working? It's the opening pair. Let's not split it. That could be the only reason.
Probably. But I think you have extenuating
that's the mildest, softest word that's come out of Pommie's mouth for the last 15 minutes.
Pommie is upset, as am I. I'm upset. I pay good money to watch it on my television, or no money to watch it on my television. I want to see Gale. I want to see
Gale too.
I want to
see Gale. That's a new song, right?
I want to see. Obviously, I want to see Mayank and KL as well. It's nothing against them, but I know that they can do either of them. You pick one, and they can do the job at number 3 as well. Rahul can do anything. He can bat in any position, right? And he can change the game. That's him. He's done that for India. So I don't. Anyway, well, the Bangalore bowling attack. We'll have a quick look at that because 7 options with Virat, and there you go. He's got the proper bowlers. He's got Shivam Dube if he wants to go. So he's got 6 proper bowlers that he's going with, and he's got Shivam Dube who. Is definitely not an amateur with the ball. So he's got a lot of options. It's just going to be interesting to see how he uses them because Bangalore doesn't get that as right as many times that they would like to. So hopefully they have to get it right today because batters haven't given them that much to flex. But we've also said that in the last few games. We've always said this score doesn't seem to be challenging enough to defend, but it just keeps getting defended. So no idea. You have no idea what happens, but if the gentlemen want to hazard a guess or perhaps say where the advantage lies at this point in time. Braver men than me. Pommie.
171 is a good score as far as I'm concerned on that pitch. I think it's a good score. I think you've got bowlers in form, and so I think it leans towards RCB.
Yeah, agree. It's gettable, but you got to play really well to get it. At the moment, if it's probably 60-40.
Well, and I think they've given away the advantage by not introducing somebody who will say, oh, well, we don't know how he's going to play. He's not been in the tournament. We know what's going to happen with Mayank and KL. If they play well, it's tough.
It's great. You're right.
Yeah.
It's like you want to unleash the hungry beast because he's been sitting outside. He's not used to not having the limelight. Give him the limelight, throw him in, tell him small ground, brother, knock yourself out. But can't hit too many sixes from the dugout, can he? What I'll say is that first, I hope that Punjab gets it because they're just languishing. We'd like to see them up forward. And also, just to mess the data up a bit, kind of chasing team in with a win. Come on.
That would be good.
Yeah,
that would be good. Yeah, it would be good.
Cat among the pigeons, as I say. Cat among the cats in the dugout, though. But anyway, so we're going to go now, and we're going to see you at the end of the 10th over with Cricbuzz Combox. In fact, Pommie and Harsha are going to see you at the end of the 10th over on Cricbuzz Combox.
Pommie, control.
I'll come and see you there just now. Okay, yeah, you wait there.
Just maybe a cup of chamomile, yeah, Pommie. Maybe just a cup of chamomile.
I'm going green tea.
Yeah, just nothing.
Can't risk the chamomile. Yeah, can't risk
nothing
the
with
chamomile.
caffeine. Nothing.
Yeah.
We're gonna see you at the end of the game on My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. Thank you so much for watching.